Who in the hell is Vydia Entertainment? Food for one child, Sota Black. Now, this is one of the reasons why I really don't be. It's annoying when you want to just share your opinion, so I'm removing the video because I don't feel like arguing with them about fair use and making my point. It's very petty to me to copyright strike or claim something that it is obviously fair use, and you posted it all over the internet. I don't feel you're entitled to compensation for someone else's opinion on your work. It's not like I just re-uploaded the video and that was it. It's 50 minutes of me giving my opinion and perspective on why I feel how I feel and how a man should have handled that situation. So for someone to come on, and I did dispute it, but they came back, as you see, and they feel it's valid. So fuck you, whoever the fuck you are. And I don't even know the validity of that video content, as I said in my original video, whether or not these people are, if it was a real circumstance or something that someone created. Regardless, my message still remained because of the real world feedback that we got. So that was the purpose of me giving my perspective and opinion on this matter. So, you know, I was so annoyed that these people, whoever is behind these people, how you copyright and public shit you put out that is being used in a fair use capacity. It wasn't like I just took that 4-minute clip and re-uploaded it for clicks and views. No, I gave my perspective. So, fuck you.
Do it to the death of me. X in the box, cause ain't nobody checking me.
Break it down. Here we go, my friend.
Who all saw the video? The woman, the mother, recording one of her children's fathers, dropping off food for his child. Now, before we get into the details, I saw the 58-second video first, and then I saw the longer 4-minute clip afterwards. But my thoughts were still the same. You don't bring food to a household where you know there's more than one children. This is even if there wasn't the need for food stamps or the lack of whatever. Let's say that she has a phenomenal relationship with the other fathers. Why are you bringing food for one kid and you know there's other kids there? It's just weird to me. You bring 4 or none at all. That's just stupid. Like, if there's a deeper issue there, you handle it a different way. But in the meantime, as a quote-unquote man, do black men want to lead their communities or not? This ain't got nothing to do with the woman or the mothering. What you should have did was, here, I brought y'all some food, and here go $50, and you get just whatever. That's how you handle it as a quote-unquote leader and man, and owning your responsibilities, regardless to what those other men are doing. We're talking about food for children. Nobody's telling you to pay for their college tuition, So let me just backtrack this. A, she clearly mismanaged her womb. Selective breeding. Stop procreating with men who don't have means and are not good providers, because regardless to your situation, you have 4 kids, and we know at least 2. She didn't specify how many children's fathers, but he said fathers. So you got more than 2 baby daddy. So you keep making the same mistake. You're on Snap, so that says something, not so much about, well, it does say something financially.
not this body. I'm actually God in drag playing humanity, right?
God made this. No one created this. God made it. I just had to accept. The battle of not accepting yourself, of not being yourself, is absolutely frustrating. And I don't live in frustration. I'm too beautiful
Yeah. Hold on. I'm thinking of something else. Oh, honey. Yeah. Yeah. You so sweet. Honey. Sure got a long way to make a bitch drink coffee. Wait, and I'm allergic to caffeine. Lay back, baby. I got you, baby. Watch this. You like that, baby? Look, y'all. Yes, you did. No, he can't take it today. 5,000.
This isn't a judgment. This is a simple analysis, right? So the males you decided to get your womb pregnant and procreate with have left you in a state of burden because you have 4 children and you're on SNAP. So not one of those men are in a position to provide for you. And let's say she is unfit. If she's so unfit, then I expect that man to have primary custody. So, and I'm not saying that it's his responsibility to bring them food every single day. In this isolated incident, it makes total sense. And to add insult to injury, in the subsequent video, she's talking about he came into the situation and she already had 3 kids. Strike number 1. Why are you, as a quote-unquote man, choose to procreate with her? So let's say y'all stayed together in a relationship. Are you telling me that you're going to treat the kids differently? No, you just don't do that. So take away the romance. If y'all was in the same household, you think she's going to be comfortable, or you wouldn't be looked at as fucking crazy if you go out to the grocery store or McDonald's and buy your son a Happy Meal, but you her quote-unquote man, and there's 3 other kids in the home and you don't buy them food? So do you give her money for groceries and say, these Cheerios for Taekwondo? No, that's not how that works. This is the female you chose to be with. And make it so bad, it wasn't like she had the 3 kids after the fact. He came into the situation and she already had 3 kids. So you already knew what you were kind of walking into. But just as a provider, you just, again, these men ain't manning like they supposed to. Now, what she was definitely, but we live in this world where people want to record and film everything. I didn't think that was necessary, but you know, that's what y'all like to do. I mean, everything's a moment. Everything's got to be captured on camera. So it's not my taste, but you know, and both of them had legit points. So, taking over the entire responsibility of those other children, and they're not together. No, you're right. You know, but it's just interesting that she already had these 3 pre-existing children, and now whether y'all were dating or just having sex, you know, at some point, you take on people as they are. So I just think, in knowing that clearly she doesn't have her stamps until the 7th or whatever day she said she was getting them. So that says you have no food. Now we can go in on her as a mother, like, what are you doing? I don't know, most the mothers that I know, that's not just going to happen. Like, their kids are going to be fine with or without the father. So I don't know their struggle personally. I just think something was so cheap about it. Like, you really dropped off a hamburger in front, and like, come on, like, knowing that there were other children there, knowing that clearly something's off if he's got to bring her food. Like, what's the bigger issue here? What's the root cause here? So, just by the outside looking in, these men don't seem financially equipped to raise a child. Yet she still bore children with them, which is her mistake. But if I call and my son is hungry, or I need to bring my child something to eat because the mama ain't got, I mean, I'm looking at the bigger picture here. But in the meantime, these kids got to eat. So, as a parent, you know, as an adult, I'm bringing Happy Meals for everyone so everyone can eat. Whatever issue we have is secondary. The primary issue is I'm a provider. I'm a leader in my community. Regardless to what I think of her, I was stupid enough to get her pregnant, so I have to deal with that. It ain't got nothing to do with the kids. Shouldn't have to pay for that. This is new young shit. This is new. And you have women co-signing this, and some dumb bitch tried to flip it, talking about if you dating a guy and he got 4 kids and his baby mama. I would expect a mother to mother, and it's just weird to me how y'all don't get that. There's the immediate issue, and then there's the long-term issue. I would expect a sane mother or father, knowing that there is children in the home, to feed all the children, irregardless of whose responsibility that it is. Then I expect those same individuals, if there is a bigger problem that we need to address, then we address it. Hey Keisha, last week I've been bringing food for your whole house. What's going on? Or, hey Taekwon, I'm feeding our kid and all right. That's how you handle that. But you don't make a stand on what child to get a Happy Meal for. I just think that's crazy to me how men and women are co-signing this, and it just goes to show you that you're not qualified to raise children, and yet and still y'all keep making these babies. I just don't understand that. I don't understand why he decided to get her pregnant, and I don't understand why she allowed him to. I would just think that with 4 children, at some point you're in a different situation. I wouldn't want to have 4 children and need SNAP benefits to feed my kids. I just know we need to start proactively protecting ourselves on both sides for the sake of the children. I mean, you're literally hollering about you don't get your stamp. So what if the man was, what they all was trash? How are you going to feed your kids? Like, again, and who suffers through all this? The children. This is embarrassing. So I'm just flabbergasted at how people are not understanding the root issue. Some people got it and other people don't. I just, I don't understand how you could know that there's a house of children and they're hungry, but you only bring food for one. I just think that's weird. I just don't understand that. So, again, men are supposed to de-escalate, men are supposed to lead, men are supposed to provide, but he probably got on his bio for how much of a king he is, and as she said, he's a good father. He's trying to fake the funk. Again, if I know how to handle that situation, I would expect someone who has a mother or a father to know how to handle that situation. You bring the food. I don't understand. But so what? He brought a box of hamburger helper, only his son can eat it? That doesn't make sense. That's presumably, it seems like, because the way he just pulled up and pulled off. She's the primary parent. So what goes on in that household as far as bare necessity? You think that mom is splitting up her resources, saying, okay, your dad gave me $20, so you get $20 worth of groceries, and then you gave me $50. So, no, that's not how that works. So the overarching contribution that you make to that mother is going to go to her litter, in a sense, her children. What don't you get about that? Let's say you marry a woman, she got kids. You provide for your household. That includes her kids, all of them, regardless of who's the biological parent or not. So let me ask, so what changes if he's in a relationship with this woman and he goes to McDonald's? He's not going to buy just food for his son, and she's got 3 other kids, and they're in a relationship. So because he's not of the home, I'm not understanding how y'all want to justify this, and it's just sad that people do. I don't know what's changed. I don't know why we've had such a decline. I don't know why females keep mismanaging their vaginas and procreating too soon with the wrong people, and the history repeats itself. Most of these guys are not worth y'all's time. Yet and still y'all need to, I don't know what it is. I don't get it. Why people put themselves in these situations, I don't understand. He dumb for dealing with her, obviously. But that would just blow my mind that you think that you don't gotta buy food So let's remove the McDonald's. And first, who the fuck is feeding their kids fast food knowing what we know as adults? But anyways, let's say he brought over groceries. You think she's gonna just make food for her son? For the child they share and not the others? Again, men, why don't y'all lead? Where's your leadership skills? Where's your de-escalation skills? Where's your resources? What are you providing? You got her pregnant, you got kids with her, you knew she had kids. You left there and your child still didn't get, we don't know what happened afterwards, but hearing her say that, as a man, you're supposed to respond and resolve the issue. You're a man, right? So regardless of her situation or who's the father to who, you make sure them kids are straight. So I would have brought 4 Happy Meals and gave her some money to hold her over till she got her food stamps, because clearly y'all not doing enough. And both parents do have the responsibility to take care of their kids, absolutely. Either men want to be the leaders and the top of the pyramid as they claim they want to be, or they don't. But it can't be both ways. So regardless to what she's lacking, you as the man should never be comfortable with her saying she don't get her stamps until whatever day. So what does that mean? You don't eat? That's crazy to me. And so you, as a man, would make sure all the kids is fed. Gave her some money to hold her over. And if there's a pattern of behavior, if there's a trend, if she's not fit to parent, then you go and see about your individual child and you get primary custody. Now she visits him or whatever the conversation looks like. But no, I don't think that, I don't want to misconstrue that. Let's say he got primary custody and she was visiting and paying him child support and visiting her. No, I don't think it's his responsibility to feed them. What's the word I want to use to kind of make my point? No, I don't think it's to permanently feed them, no. But in individual instances like this, yeah, I expect you to be an adult and bring food for everyone. Not in a perpetual state, but because it's the instance that it is. And again, are you saying she's unfit? What is the root issue here? If this is an isolated incident, you mean to tell me your cheap ass couldn't bring food for 4 kids? They can't fend for themselves. Again, black males, where's this king shit? Where's your kingdom? Why is this even a conversation? That's petty as hell. She gonna bring a box. She gonna bring food in there. Some bitch gonna say one of her dads brought one of her kids a snow cone and she left it at their kids. Look, no, no, you're not gonna treat my kids differently. You brought a snow cone, nigga. I got 2 kids. I need 2 snow cones. Or don't bring none at all. And if you want to make a difference and you do that shit outside of my house while she's with you, but not while they're there. And damn, clearly the bitch ain't got no money. She's talking about she ain't got no food stamps. And you'll pull up with a Happy Meal. What's she gonna eat later? Or tomorrow? That's not the resolution. And that's just not what men do. And if you gotta call her out, you can call her out for her part and still do right by the kids. But yeah, some girl posted about she left and got her daughter a snow cone after her dad brought. No, bitch, you the fool, because they know you ain't about to do that. That's so stupid. That's so dumb. If you want to do something special for the child or for your individual child, do that while they're with you and you're in there along with you. But if you know that the other kids are hungry, just as a parent, as a human being with means, you make sure they straight. That's just what you do. I don't know. There's no other argument that I care to hear about this particular instance, because it's just knowing what I know about in those 4 minutes tell me everything. It's just crazy to me that she even had to have this conversation and y'all justifying their behavior. we wonder why the black family collectively is so fucking fucked up. Because the males like this procreating, and the females, again, you can't Batman all that stuff, I get all that, but you can selectively breed. And just based upon your circumstances, you are not selecting viable partners to have kids with. Because there's no way in hell I'm gonna be a mother and my kids can't eat because I don't get food stamps for several days, or one child. No, hell no. She got at least 2 baby daddies, but he said fathers, so it must be more than that. So some of this is on the female. Like, you gotta stop mismanaging your vagina and covet your womb. It should be a gift to bear a child with you, and that's how you should treat it. It should be a gift to lay with you. And so if dudes ain't got that, y'all, but if people, I will teach my kids masturbation. You can date, have fun, but have something, expectations, standards, and boundaries, because it's just not worth it. And now you the one pregnant, and for what? You haven't even lived. You don't even know yourself. But you about to be somebody's mother, and that shit crazy as hell. I don't get that. I don't get what is not being communicated. Why people think that shit is normal. It is so dumb. But I would have brought 4 Happy Meals and called it a fucking day. It's just not that serious. Like, you can't. It's got to be one or the other. A man needs to resolve, de-escalate, and provide solutions and resources. If you're not doing that, don't call yourself a man. Don't call yourself a king. Like, oh my God. It just it's too petty, and it's just, again, y'all don't have no business raising children. If he this petty about this, what do you think he's doing with everything else? I just pray for the kids. I don't know how anyone can justify. And he knows like he probably post and brag about all the shit he don't do. You know, these social media parents. But that's all the more reason why you should not be. Oops, I'm pregnant. And no shade, watch who you having kids with, just for everything. I mean, looks, genetics, family heritage, background, economic, like all that shit is relevant. That should be such a big decision. You should not be just making that lightly. And if you are, how are you apprehensive or against abortions, but you're not against premarital? The contradictions and cognitive dissonance for me is just overwhelming. But that's my thoughts on it. I just don't see the point in trying to say who I'm the paternal parent to, when I know that there's children who haven't eaten. I'm just going to make sure the kids ate. And if I need to get custody of my kid because she's unfit, then that's just what I do. I just, what did you think was going to happen? Like, he was going to go in there with food or go outside to eat? That's true. Yeah, I would have threw the food on the ground too. Like, nigga, what the fuck I'm going to do with this shit? And he act like he spent money. Like, come on, bro. That shit was a couple dollars, if that. So, I would have brought food for everybody. Asked her what was going on. Again, I'm a man, right? I'm the father, right? Regardless of who the fuck is who's daddy. You didn't think about that when you got her pregnant and decided to sleep with her. So, he a chump. She dumb. I just don't understand why this shit keeps happening. Even that one girl was... I don't even know. I have not heard any of her music, but I just keep seeing her name. That's Summer Walker, Autumn Night Bitch. You a baby number 2 times over. Just dumb. I don't, whatever. Just whatever. Y'all have got to stop letting these knuckleheads get y'all pregnant. And then you left holding the bag. And the kids suffer. Kids have a kids. But yeah, you wrong if you don't think he was supposed to bring food for everybody. Knowing the situation. And let's say they did have a refrigerator full of food. You don't call up and bring food for one and you hear, I just wouldn't do that. If I can't afford to get all y'all something to eat, then I just can't afford to get, I'm talking about McDonald's, but you don't not do for everybody's kid. And you know this. It's different if you don't know, but even if it's adults, hey, I'm going to get something. Anybody want something? Not that you can buy their food, perhaps, but you know, maybe you take the orders or whatever, but you don't leave. I don't know. I'm just raised differently. People are not raised the same. There's so much wrong with the situation. He was less than smart to deal with her, knowing her situation, and that's how he felt. She was less than smart to keep procreating with men who don't have assets. Means what? Why? What are y'all in a rush to be parents for? You have nothing to offer this child. All you're doing is creating more wage slaves and just the degenerate bullshit. It's just unattractive. So, in closing, a man would have brought 4 Happy Meals, gave her some grocery money, and if it was a pattern or a sign of some other shit going on, take the necessary steps to get full custody of his child. That's what a man does. This whole bickering and whose child is whose is feminine, not leadership qualities, not anything that these so-called kings claim they want to be or are. And that's what y'all like, I guess. But again, who suffers? The damn kids.
People always trying to find the world I'm in. I'm the envy of the women and I rule the men. What good do your words do if they can't understand? Check it out, check it out. What you want, go reposition. Yes, we're living the single life, oh, in a 90s kind of world, I'm glad I got my girl. Keep your head up, boy, keep your head up, that's right. Whenever this life gets tough, you gotta fight with my homegirl standing to my left. Am I right? True blue, it's tight like glue.
J. Edgar Hoover said, the biggest threat to America is Negro unity. And if we don't get that shit together, we're going to get fucked here and in Africa.
Hannibal Lecter brings up and he says to Clary, he goes, Clary, what do we covet? And she's like, what do we covet? What do we covet? And he goes, and he finally illuminates and goes, we covet what we see every day. Mm-hmm. And if your world isn't diverse, then that's not going to feel natural to you to include it. So I'm constantly encouraging people of all colors to have conversation, make friends with people that are different than you, because it allows for you to see the humanity in others. You know, it's not the mirrors that are across from you shouldn't just look exactly like you. Exactly. That's where real growth happens.
Is you live, whore? You got to cut your phone down when you call so I can hear you. Is you live? Hey!
Your account is closed for insufficient funds.
I love y'all. Hey, girls, I see I got one on the line, so y'all already know the Gag Nation ain't having it, bitch. You block, you gone, goodbye. Thank you for calling.
They say that happiness is wanting what you already have. But a little bit more didn't hurt nobody.
You think a nigga can rest, can even...
These thighs, bitch, oohs and ahs, 5'7", thick in the thighs. Every thug dream wife, see the love in their eyes.
Please, just let me talk to you for a second, baby.
And now you want me back.
Let's do the to an old school dance. Let your relay. Let me tell you. This smile, bitch.
Version of what I'm supposed to do, supposed to think, supposed to say, I'm supposed to write, how I'm supposed to eat, it's their version. I think that's unfortunate.
But if you're gonna be done, be done.
The family and privacy and just, your girl does this and the guy visits and we have to sit on the porch and important. But she's from that era. She was a rebel from that era. She didn't really believe in those kind of things. She thought people do what they want. There's no such thing as gay. There's just humans who feel the way they want to feel. These are labels, and she's teaching me all these things at a very young age. It's hard not to see the world as flawed sometimes, their thinking.
She was millennial in the 50s, basically.
Yeah, and I was an improvement on her design. And my daughter is an improvement on mine. So once you kind of realize, because I don't have no rules, because there's certain people that call and want shit that I be like, I ain't never.
Right.
But instead of having rules, I just go by the moment. If I feel I will. If I don't, I don't feel too comfortable with that. We've been hurting. We've been treated unfair. Look at us, is what it's about. And it's more important to sell ads than to look at us. It's more important to pass bills than to look at us. Look at us. We're here. We're human beings, real things. Blamed for anybody's behavior. It's where we are. It's who they are. And with all the drugs and stuff, that's only a reflection of where we are. We're in a state of mental illness. Period. That's where we are. The whole world needs some kind of coping mechanism. The whole world needs some kind of relief, some kind of, numbing thing. Because we sick. We sad. Everybody in here is fucking depressed. In this room. Everybody. And what we're trying to do is cope in some kind of way, whether it's with mate, or with some kind of drug or alcohol, health, food, or whatever it is you're using. We're trying to cope with it because energy is just low.
Her life got better when she just learned she was okay telling people, no, I'm not. But no, you don't have to have a reason. You didn't feel it.
No, I don't feel comfortable about it right now. I think people respect you as a result. If that's what you're looking for.
Right.
You're looking for respect from your peers and family members. And you're someone who complains that they don't respect me, but they respect my money. Because your money is bigger than you.
The people who come, if you're one of those people who can't go somewhere because someone else might be there, then don't come to my event.
If you're gay, you're gay. Ain't no talk, ain't no ball, it's reverse, bitch. Reverse. To live motherfucking ass shit on these websites because you don't know if you living with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Motherfuckers gonna kill you. Hey, check.
Taste the shit, put me on a basin, throw your face in it, fuck up.
Watch this. Oh, I want somebody to walk behind me and kiss me on my neck. On my neck. 1, 2, 1, 2. They've been requesting me. Why we ain't there? Next time. Every now and then.
You have just been
don't mind fucking this friend. I got a wife at home and love my children.
Kaya, you have just been brought up on the docket.
That's a country song. I like a little dick every now and then.
Listen, I'm bringing you on the docket because one, you are.
I love my wife, I love my children, but my best friend, me and him is screwing. I love a little dick every now and then. Country.
You on the docket, Kaya.
Wait, that was so good. Y'all know I ain't lying. Didn't it sound like all the rest of her songs? It sound like this. I said, bitch, stop whispering. I said all that goddamn whispering, humming this. See, my kitty, I'm you. I say, bitch, I'm tired of it. But you here, 'cause I am asleep.
Girl, I